Okay, so today I'll be going over why I think every man needs to have a sport that they're good at, or simply just a sport that they're willing to get better at. So, the first important aspect of a sport is the social aspect of it, where we see that the reason for many addictions that young people have these days, like an internet addiction, a video game addiction, is simply because they're staying home all day, right? If you stay home all day, all by yourself, especially, it's easy to cave into things that are designed to take all of our attention, right? Like the internet and everything that comes along with it, like video games. These things were kind of made to hold our attention, right? And so if you're staying home all day and you have no reason to be outside of the house, it's no wonder you're going to be falling into these addictions, right? It's very hard to go outside with some purpose and still fall into a video game addiction, right? You're not it's not likely that you're bringing a console, you're bringing your whole setup with you. It's very hard, with whatever's associated with the internet. If you're being outside, you have a kind of blockade where you're not going to be falling into these addictions. Okay, but that's just like one small part of it. Main thing is that you get outside of your house, right? Where is life happening outside of your house? So you want to be outside of the house as much as you can, towards a limit. And this is sports. The social aspect of sports is a perfect way to do that. So the next thing is that you can make friends through a common struggle, and so what that means is basically, when you think about it, you're making friends because you have some sort of activity that you guys can do together. So if you think about it, school is one of the big activities where you make a lot of your friends, right? And that's because you guys are going through a common struggle of spending 6 7 hours on top of all the homework that you might have to do, on top of any other extracurriculars that you might have to do with your peers, right? And that's what kind of keeps you bonded together, and you guys start becoming more aware of how each other are, right? Is through going through the common struggle of school. And so sports are no different, right? If this is a team sport, even if this is an individual sport, you want to be doing it in a group, right? In a group of people where you guys are essentially going through a common struggle. If you're on the same team, it's a common struggle of beating the other team. If you guys are simply just training together, it's simply just getting better, and overcoming, whatever happens with training or competing against each other. But I'll go more into competition in its own pillar, right? And so we see that, like, a big reason why people kind of stop being friends with each other after school is simply that they don't have this common struggle anymore, right? There's not something holding them together that they have to overcome together, or that they're forced together to go through, right? So if you're able to get people together and go through a common struggle like sports, it'll really help you make the friends that you need, right? Because I don't think I need to pull up any studies for this. It's really important for your mental health to have good mental health. uh, you need to be having a good social circle. And so part of that is that you can actually build up your social status through competence in this sport. I think a example that we can all think about, I'll relate it back to school, is essentially anybody that made the school team for one of these sports automatically had that social proof due to having some competence in this case through the sport, right? And so it doesn't have to be as clear. And I know that real life doesn't work in the way that, oh, just because you have a competence, you have social status. Like, I get that, but it's simply a way to build up your social status, right? If you're having your friends come play with each other, right? And we talk about each other, you can always think, okay, yeah, that guy, he's good at this sport. It builds uh, a sign of kind of respect that you have, right? But let's just say it's a work event, right? You guys are all playing a sport. I actually had something like this, and I'm simply just slightly above average in the sport but I'm willing to get better. That's the main thing. And by we had this kind of event together, and by showing that I'm competent in it, or seeing other people that are competent in it, there's kind of that mutual respect there. The next thing is it'll actually help you become a better leader, because oftentimes, like I said, you're going through a common struggle where you might go through some adversity that you need to step up for, or because this is a sport that you're choosing, that you have some sort of skill in already. That's where it gives you the chance to become a leader, and that you can bring into whole other aspects of your life, right? When it comes down to the workplace and somebody needs to step up, you kind of have that, you've kind of trained yourself already with a sport on how to lead people, right? You don't even have to be the best at this sport. You simply just have to fill in that void where you're helping, you're helping everybody get through a common struggle, right? So that's the social aspect, right? It'll help you make friends. It'll help you build up your social status. It'll help you with leadership skills, and also it's gonna force you to get out of the house. That's like the main thing, right? Your life happens outside of the house, and sports is a perfect way to get outside of the house and have a reason to get out. Okay, next we have the competition aspect, which is crucial in sports, right? We're competing with others. So one of the main things is that people don't realize about like testosterone optimization, all that stuff is like, yeah, we get it, that we need to sleep. I think that's like kind of universally known. Heavy lifting, like leg training, I think that's pretty known. But one thing that I think people really overlook, especially for the fact that it has actually caused, what they've reported as the biggest increase in testosterone, is competition, right? Basically, your body needs a reason to produce this testosterone, and competition is, along with other things that I can get to in another time, competition is one of the biggest reasons for that. Okay, but it also bleeds into other aspects of your life, because you gain the ability basically to enter a flow state. Oftentimes, like with competition, you'll notice, right, in something that you're good at, it's like you don't even think about it. Your brain kind of turns off, and you're just able to get stuff done, right? This might happen to you in school, but oftentimes it's a lot easier for this to happen for a lot of people in sports, right? You just kind of almost put your head down and you're just getting the work done, and sometimes you don't even think about it. And it also helps with learning to deal with adversity. Of course, there's a lot of politics in sports when you're just playing, whether it be with friends or strangers, right? Things can get kind of intense, but it helps you deal with that adversity that you're going to be dealing with uh, throughout, other times in your life. And part of that is also learning to get humbled, right? Um, for anybody who have played sports, you could be at the top, feeling like you're the man one game, and then the next game, stuff just goes wrong for you, you get humbled. Basically, sports help you deal with that struggle in real life. So, kind of my like action step here, right, is to, if you're playing against like the same competition and you think you've kind of conquered that, go out of your comfort zone, embrace, getting humbled. Of course, always strive to do the best that you can in these sports, but also you want to play against like better competition, right? It doesn't have to be always okay, I want to get better at this sport, but it's just putting yourself in these uncomfortable situations. You kind of learn how to deal with adversity. Okay. And then finally, with competition, you get this sense of achievement, right? Winning a competition will literally increase your testosterone, but more so, this sense of achievement, you can kind of put it into other aspects of your life. I know that's like something I've been repeating, but if you do well in a game, right, you kind of feel nice about yourself. You have that kind of boost, that pep in your step throughout the rest of the day. Okay, next up, what I think is the most obvious probably is the physical aspects of playing a sport. But there is some nuance to this. Basically, to let's just say you wanted to lose body fat, right? You have to burn calories for that, and it's a lot more enjoyable. And actually, you'll get more calories burnt if you're playing a sport that you're willing to push yourself in versus something like walking on the treadmill for X number of minutes, right? In sports, it's a type of cardio that you want to, burn more calories, because at the end of the day, there it is like a competition. You want to win, so it's a lot easier to do that. Also, with this, exercise ends up becoming a habit, because oftentimes when you're playing a sport with other people, you're telling people that you're going to be here at this time, and there's kind of that commitment that you have to others. Or let's just say you paid for it, right? You kind of have that commitment. Or if there's like a group chat with people or friends, and you say, somebody says let's play, or you say you're gonna play, you have that commitment that, okay, I have to go now, right? So exercise, that's the easiest way to make exercise a part of your daily habits, right? Is to just play a sport. The other thing that again I like testosterone optimization. It's just like something I'm interested in, and over here I just quickly put like um a this is a graph from a study. I'll try and link it. But basically it shows, less than 4,000 steps, between 4 and 8k, and then 8 and 12, what the average testosterone levels were. And you can see it's a pretty noticeable difference. And the reason for that is many. You're getting outside probably a bit more, you're getting more vitamin D, you're getting more blood flow, right, which will help shuttle nutrients everywhere you need to. So the recommendation of 10k steps per day, it can be tough when you have a sitting job. Like, I know a lot of the work that I do is sitting down most of the day. You definitely want to break that up, but to get a big chunk of the steps that you need to, super easy way is just make sports a habit in your life. So all in all, we have these three pillars that I want to make sure that everybody has when they're playing when they're playing a sport, right? You want to make sure it's something social. You want to hopefully have friends that play this sport. That way, it creates some sort of competition that will help you have a competitive edge against others, and it can also help bleed into other aspects of your life. And then finally, you want to have a sport that is physically demanding enough that you're getting some physical health benefits from it, but that will also leave you, with time, energy, and recovery capability for other things that are more important in your life, which can include lifting, right? And in many cases, lifting will actually supplement, your performance in the sport that you choose.